Here are the stories we're covering this week in the Category 5.tv newsroom. Google's parent company, Alphabet, will test its drone delivery service in Finland next year. Microsoft Edge is dead. Seriously. Microsoft is building its own Chromium browser to replace the default on Windows 10. Google is expediting the closure of Google Plus after another security bug. For the second time in history, a human-made object has reached the space between the stars. These stories are coming right up. Don't go anywhere.
This is the Category 5.tv newsroom, covering the week's top tech stories with a slight Linux bias.
Jeff Weston,
Yeah, man.
you're building a brand new, beautiful website.
What?
Aren't you?
No. Am I?
Oh, you're a terrible actor.
What?
This is where acting comes into play.
Oh, I didn't know we were acting.
You're supposed to act.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
Yeah, I'm building a really cool website. Are you building a really cool website? Just because Jeff is confused doesn't mean you have to be. Visit cat5.tv/dreamhost to sign up for unlimited web hosting for your website with unlimited email accounts, MySQL databases, the latest version of PHP, WordPress, and more, and even a free domain name registration. It's less than $6 per month, so sign up today. cat5.tv/dreamhost.
I'm Sasha Rickman, and here are the top stories we're following this week. Google's parent company, Alphabet, will test its drone delivery service in Finland next year. Helsinki will be the first European location for Wing, which has been testing drones in Australia. Its aircraft will deliver packages weighing up to 1.5 kilograms within a minute of an order being placed. Several companies, including Wing and Amazon, are developing drone delivery services, but they have spent years in development without launching. In December 2013, Amazon chief executive Jeff Bezos predicted his company's Prime Air delivery service would launch within 5 years. However, its service is still in development. Wing said its drones had made 55,000 journeys in Australia, delivering items such as medicine, coffee, and household goods. It said it had chosen Finland for its European trial because Finnish people were renowned for being early adopters of new technologies. It has invited them to share what products they would like to see delivered by drone, with suggestions including breakfast, lunch, painkillers, and household essentials. Customers will be able to place an order using a smartphone app, and the drone delivery will be offered free of charge during the trial period. For drone delivery services to be viable, the technology giants must show that their drones are safe and reliable. Critics also question whether the public will want noisy drones delivering goods in towns and cities. But Wing says drone delivery is safer, faster, and more environmentally friendly than ground delivery. Wing is part of Alphabet's Other Bets division, which includes self-driving car project Waymo and internet delivery balloon maker Loon.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Wing.
Interesting.
I like it.
I love the concept of being able to get something that quickly.
Yeah, within 1 minute of
Dangerous
ordering.
precedent that we're setting.
You can't cancel an order then.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
so that was my first thought. I'm like, a minute?
Yeah.
Like, so it goes in, the order goes in. Is it somebody on the other end that's going, quick, run down the
Go,
hallway,
go,
go
go.
get it? Like,
Not-
you've
not
got
a-
60
Poor Amazon
seconds.
workers.
Yeah.
Like, that's just ridiculous. 1 minute.
intense.
I would say, within like half an hour of your order being processed, like, what happens if there's an error? You're right, you can't return it.
Sure.
But what I can't help but wonder, though, is does this open the door to, some guy sitting on his porch going, looks like a nice package. Take
Of
down the
course.
device. It's like, I'm
Absolutely.
stealing that.
Yep, GPS
Like,
is going to help with that, though.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, that's
it
true.
will.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll see it come down.
And
but
the Amazon drones are armed. They're loaded with missiles. So
I love this. I wish that we were testing it here. Well, we should be testing it here because we have interesting weather.
I was going to say, probably couldn't handle Canadian weather.
not if
I-
they're battery operated. That's
I
for sure.
would like for it to be able to handle it, and I would like to be able to order something and have it delivered within 1 minute, like the time that my
not
printer ran
delivered.
out of...
It takes
It's
off
out.
within a minute.
Yeah,
Yes.
so it'll only take a few.
But
minutes.
it'll only take a few minutes. I ran out of toner the other day and had to drive across town because my
Oh,
project was
wow.
due. And
Okay.
town is big when
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
panicking and it's close to 6 and everything's closing. But had I known a drone was just going to deliver it, that would be fantastic.
You're excited about toner. I'm excited about breakfast, lunch, and painkillers.
That's the part. Okay.
The three
Where's
things
dinner?
that I need in my day.
Come on, guys.
No, the
Breakfast,
painkillers are my
lunch.
doll. So you're done at 4 o'clock. You're out.
Breakfast, lunch, and painkillers.
It would be. I know they talked about household items, but it would be interesting to see how they get into things like controlled substances. Like, would they open the door to say, "Hey, you want to buy your alcohol? You know, you can purchase it through us, and we're going to drone delivery." Where's the social responsibility in that? Like, there's
Placed on the person purchasing.
right, but
Do you think that'll happen, though? We'll see.
maybe not. I don't know.
baby steps. We
But
gotta
there's a
start
lot
somewhere.
of things that come with it where it's like, how are you going to handle the control issue of, age-restricted products?
So does Amazon have to start being that bartender who says, "Look, guy, we're cutting you off. This is
You've had
the
too much
sixth-
lunch."
This is the 6th beer delivery we've given you tonight.
Right.
Cutting you off."
Yeah, it's just that's interesting
Yeah.
It'll be neat to see how it develops.
for sure.
I would like it here already. So, Finnish people, finish up your experiment and send it on over.
Live up to your name.
That's
Finish
right.
it up. Send it over to Canada.
Microsoft Edge is dead. Seriously. Microsoft is building its own Chromium browser to replace the default on Windows 10. The software giant first introduced its Edge browser 3 years ago with a redesign to replace Internet Explorer and modernize the default browsing experience to compete with Chrome and others. While the modern look and feel has paid off for Edge, the underlying browser engine, Edge HTML, has struggled to keep up with Chromium. Microsoft is finally giving up and moving its default Windows 10 browser to Chromium. Apparently, there has been a growing frustration inside Microsoft thanks to Edge's web compatibility issues, and businesses and customers have been pushing the company to improve things. Chrome is now the most popular browser across all devices, thanks to Android's popularity and the rise of Chrome on PCs and Macs. Web developers have been favoring its rendering engine to optimize their sites. Google has been creating Chrome-only web services simply because it's often the first to adopt emerging web technologies, as its engineers contribute to many web standards. Microsoft's rendering engine has fallen behind as a result, and the company is finally ready to admit this. There were signs Microsoft was about to adopt Chromium onto Windows, as the company's engineers have been working with Google to support a version of Chrome on an ARM-powered Windows operating system. Adopting Chromium as the default rendering engine for Windows 10 will end Microsoft's hostility towards Chrome. Microsoft has regularly pushed notifications to Windows 10 users to attempt to convince them not to use Chrome, and Microsoft pulled Google Chrome's installer from the Windows Store because it apparently violated store policies.
Hello.
Yeah.
They've been saying
Finally.
so if you try to install Chrome,
Yeah.
Edge will warn you, "Are you sure you want to do this? Because Edge is so much better."
Huh.
Hopefully nobody ever fell for that. But now, how
Oh,
do
yes,
they
they
say,
did.
"Oh, well, we're actually going to switch to Chrome"?
Yeah, the message should be, are you sure you want to install this? Because Chrome is better.
Right. Well, Chrome is
I
better.
believe in choice. Just don't, just like, here's the facts. Hey, the user wants to install Chrome. But that aside, so we had the discussion last week about how Microsoft is so dead set in their old ways.
Yes.
And think that, hey, if we force users to use Edge, they will use Edge. Well, then the users said, you know what? No, we're not using Edge. Give me a break.
Yep.
It was a lousy browser to begin with,
Oh,
and
horrible.
doesn't support add-ons or anything. And you want us to use this? No.
Yeah.
Right. If my choice was between Chrome and Edge, I would always pick Chrome.
Always.
Always. 100% of the time. Always. There's never a time where I'd be like, ooh, Edge has the edge on this one. Never. Never, ever would I
Never
ever
crossed
say
your
that.
mind?
Never.
So finally, they've given up and said, okay, well, we're going to base. I don't know if it's still going to be called Edge or what, but it's going to be Chrome at its heart, because Chromium is the open source project that powers Chrome and is now going to power Microsoft's default browser as well. Will they call it Chromium or Chrome?
What I do find interesting, and this is like a very far offshoot, is the fact that was it not Microsoft that bought GitHub?
Yeah.
Which is all open source stuff. So it's interesting that they buy GitHub, which is about open source. Now suddenly they're going to use Chromium as the base. It just makes me wonder if Microsoft has finally gone, okay, we need to release the reins, start doing some open source, and see what people can do with our products.
Become a support company.
Yeah, and just it'd be interesting to see if that's where they're going, and if so, what does that mean for the future of Microsoft? You know, are they going to open up, you know, Office Suite to be open source based?
If they don't change their ways, then they will. I mean, I hate to say it because it sounds presumptuous and it sounds prophetic in a way, but they will go down.
They'll be found only in past episodes.
Wasn't it Jeff Bezos this week who just said he's been saying for years that Amazon will not last forever? It's going to go down because he said there's about a 30-year shelf life on all major companies. So Microsoft is at that. They're past it.
Well, they're still holding on to old paradigms, and they need to get out of that.
And they're trying. I mean, I have to give them that. They're switching now from Edge to Chromium.
But again, they're making big mistakes with regards to everything that they do. Windows 10 is the last version of Windows. We're just going to update it, and every single update for the past 4 months has been absolutely nightmares. So people are losing faith in the very OS, and people are saying now we need Windows 11. Well, no, Windows 10 is the last Windows. They need to just get over themselves and move on is what they need to do. And maybe that's what they're doing with Chrome.
They need to just go back to Longhorn.
No. No, Jim.
That was failure.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Google is expediting the closure of Google Plus after yet another security bug. We knew Google Plus was shutting down, but Google has announced that they are expediting this process since a new security bug was discovered with the Google Plus API. 52.5 million users in connection with the Google Plus API potentially had their name, email address, occupation, age, and other information stolen in this latest breach. Google is moving up the closure of the consumer Google Plus to April 2019 and closing down all the Google Plus APIs in the next 90 days. Google says we want to give users ample opportunity to transition off consumer Google Plus, and over the coming months we will continue to provide users with additional information, including ways they can safely and securely download and migrate their data. Yet another Google service to add to the graveyard. Check out killedbygoogle.com for the full list.
We knew it was coming. I knew when I signed up for Google Plus that it was going to fail.
Really?
Miserable platform.
Just like that.
Miserable platform.
I don't know that I don't know that I signed up for it.
I found as soon as I signed up for it, it was not valid for what I would want.
Yeah.
It was obsolete from the get-go because there was just nothing to make it community based. It felt very
circles, Jeff.
Wait,
circles.
this is the circle. I did have it. Yeah. I did have Google
You
Plus.
were in our circle.
I was in a circle.
I
did have it. I did have it.
I think it was a failed attempt at kind of like creating a new type of Facebook.
And social media and everything else.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like this has been hyped a lot.
Yeah.
Like Google Plus shutting down has been in the media, and we're reporting on it as well. But it kind of feels like Google is they're trying to get rid of it. They're trying to, and so there have been theories and maybe conspiracy theories, but folks who think that Google is just creating these exploits.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's a great theory.
So that people lose confidence in the platform that they already don't have confidence in, because who's going to care? Just the people who have their data on it.
Like three people.
Well, I've got to get my stuff off.
3 people.
Everybody else in the world is like, who cares if Google Plus has been compromised? So they know that, and so they create this fake, hey, we've been hacked again. Ooh,
we'll do this to save you.
All your data is gone.
Yeah.
See, I like to have faith in a company that they wouldn't build their brand off insecure products.
No, but they are big enough. Google, Alphabet are big enough that they can just, they want to brush this one off.
They want this one gone.
They want to get rid of it. So they could theoretically do something like that.
They could say that there
doesn't
was
hurt
a
them any
breach
because
that there wasn't.
who cares about that breach?
Yeah, I guess.
Nobody cares about that breach except the people who have their data on it, who now have been given an opportunity, 90 days of which to get
wanna
their
hear
stuff
from
off.
those two
Actually does garner like a lot of consumer confidence. Like, oh, they're reporting on their own thing and shutting it down. I like them.
You're not going to fix it because it's a dead thing.
Yes.
We're not going to put any work into it. We're not going to dedicate man hours to that.
We're just going to like...
So they've got marketing people
So
creating false hack exploits.
It's akin to like saying, I want a new microwave, so I'm just going to throw this tinfoil in the microwave and hit 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Sasha throwing her things on the floor to get warranty replacements.
That was not on purpose, and I can't even call them. I'm so... I feel so bad. It was me. I did it. Oh, I can't get it replaced by warranty, but you can send me a new one because I liked it so much.
Don't go too far down this rabbit hole.
Okay.
Because then you'll reveal who we're talking about. Yes. Nobody knows. No. It's completely inside. Completely inside.
For the second time in history, a human-made object has reached the space between the stars. NASA's Voyager 2 probe now has exited the heliosphere, the protective bubble of particles and magnetic fields created by the sun. Comparing data from different instruments aboard the trailblazing spacecraft, mission scientists determined the probe crossed the outer edge of the heliosphere on November 5th. This boundary, called the heliopause, is where the tenuous hot solar wind meets the cold, dense interstellar medium. Its twin, Voyager 1, crossed this boundary in 2012, but Voyager 2 carries a working instrument that will provide first-of-its-kind observations of the nature of this gateway into the interstellar space. Voyager 2 now is slightly more than 11 billion miles from Earth. Mission operators can still communicate with Voyager 2 as it enters this new phase of its journey, but the information, moving at the speed of light, takes about 16.5 hours to travel from the spacecraft to Earth. By comparison, light traveling from the Sun takes about 8 minutes to reach Earth. Together, the two Voyagers provide a detailed glimpse of how our heliosphere interacts with the constant interstellar wind flowing from beyond. Their observations complement data from NASA's Interstellar Boundary Explorer, or IBEX, a mission that is remotely sensing that boundary. NASA also is preparing an additional mission, the upcoming Interstellar Mapping and Acceleration Probe, or IMAP, due to launch in 2024 to capitalize on the Voyager's observations. While the probes have left the heliosphere, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 have not yet left the solar system and won't be leaving anytime soon. The boundary of the solar system is considered to be beyond the outer edge of the Oort cloud, a collection of small objects that are still under the influence of the sun's gravity. The width of the Oort cloud is not known precisely, but is estimated to begin at about 1,000 astronomical units, or AU, from the Sun and to extend to about 100,000 AU. 1 AU is the distance from the Sun to the Earth. It will take about 300 years for Voyager 2 to reach the inner edge of the Oort cloud and possibly 30,000 years to fly beyond it. Voyager 2 launched in 1977, 16 days before Voyager 1, and both have traveled well beyond their original destinations. The spacecrafts were built to last 5 years and conduct close-up studies of Jupiter and Saturn. However, as the mission continued, additional flybys of the two outermost giant planets, Uranus and Neptune, proved possible. As the spacecraft flew across the solar system, remote-controlled reprogramming was used to endow the Voyagers with greater capabilities than they possessed when they left Earth. Their two-planet mission became a four-planet mission. Their 5-year lifespans have stretched to 41 years, making Voyager 2 NASA's longest-running mission.
Unbelievable.
That's so wild.
This is great. They definitely did not picture this when they put the spacecraft up into the atmosphere, right? And here it is, 41 years later, blowing our minds.
Unreal. Once it reaches the Oort cloud, that could happen. I can't see it ever going through, but if it gets there, we're going to start to see. I hope. Do we get to see pictures? No. Does Voyager take pictures? It's going to be data. It's going to be data.
I think it's data. But that's what I find so fascinating about this is that it was a 5-year mission. It's now 40 plus years into it. the technology that's on Voyager 1 and 2 and the data that's being transmitted is so archaic to what we use today, but it's still sending information. We're like, oh, this is amazing.
Oh, I wish they had digital CMOS sensors back then.
Oh, yeah. Like, could you imagine the information we would collect now if we were able to... But it's neat that we're going, we're still receiving the information 16 hours later. It's like,
sure,
come on. But I will say, totally, just Hollywoodized. The fact that it's still going and you've got those Star Trek movies, Voyager. Which one was that? Was that Star Trek 4?
I haven't seen
they found the Voyager?
original series stuff.
The original? Oh, it was so good. But it makes me wonder, one day if we get there, are we going to find these satellites crashed somewhere? It's like, oh my goodness, that's it. That's how far it got from home.
Now it's coming back to me, Jeff. I'm sure I saw that.
That's where the guy,
sure I saw that.
I forget his name, but he like melds with the...
Spock?
No, I forget.
Sarek?
It's a crewman. I forget his name.
Oh, okay.
It's been years since I've seen that one.
Wow.
It's so cool.
In reality, though.
Yeah.
I mean, away from sci-fi and videos of the era, like, this is sensing data that is further away from Earth than anything has ever been. And I think, will the technology come that we can then surpass it? Like, will we send a probe that flies well past Voyager 2 and says, see ya, I've got 16 megapixels in an array of 500 sensors. And I'm going to be taking some pictures of this Oort cloud. So
it would be neat
this day will come.
They could create another satellite to hit the trajectory path and go, we're going to, like, here's a robotic whatever that's going to install other sensors on you, and we're
take pictures of it.
Yeah,
maybe rub some of the zebra muscles off.
It's something like that. It'd be interesting to see if we have, we could have the technology. It's like we're gonna update you on the fly. It's like a refuel in air.
Just shoot it down. Just replace it altogether.
It's been up there for a long time. Can you imagine having a 5-year lifespan and then being like extended to 41 years? The poor Voyager 2 is probably like, when can I retire?
How's the anti-malware on there? Think about that. How hackable is this device? It's up there with technology from the 60s.
Exactly. That's funny. It's still a very cool story.
Big thanks to Roy W. Nash and our community of viewers for submitting stories to us this week. Thanks for watching the Category5.tv newsroom. Don't forget to like and subscribe for all your tech news with a slight Linux bias. And for more free content, be sure to check out our website. From the Category5.tv newsroom, I'm Sasha Rickman.
And I'm Robbie Ferguson.
And I'm Jeff Weston.
Thank you once again for being here with us this week, folks. I hope you've had a great time. I sure have, and I look forward to being here with you again next week. So we'll see you.
Bye.
Bye.